Hi guys, I'm Tyler Ivy, and I'm going to give my oral presentation on the community corrections project that we did. So first off, the city of which my program will be taking place is to help police, probation, and correction officers deal with their personal and professional life in the city of Chicago, Illinois. The population of the city is 600,000 people, and these people live in high crime rate areas where a lot of them have to deal with poverty on a daily basis. Also in these areas, there are a decent amount of blighted and burned out properties as well. The agency that is located in Chicago, Illinois is the Chicago Police Department, also known as CPD. The Chicago Police Department has to deal with a high crime rate, and also Chicago is known for its high crime rate amongst the whole country. Social economic shifts can affect economic factors, including labor supply, job distribution, and labor market polarization. Also, social economics trends can affect people by where they live based on social economic opportunities that they have there. And therefore, a shrinking resident space will make the economic opportunities for that area become limited and inhibit economic growth overall. The mission statement for this program is to help police, probation, and correction officers in the city of Chicago and their families deal with their job and how it might affect the household, as well as some problems that they might come across because of it as well. Also, this program is intended to better the relationship between the officer and his family. Another purpose of this program is to keep work life and home life separate from each other as best as possible. The Chicago Police Department will run by hitting these problems head on in order to accomplish the goals that they have to the best of their ability. The Chicago Police Department will strive to meet these goals by having the counseling for the families and the criminal justice professionals as well. The reason being that officers have to tell someone about what happened at work that week, or it could eat them up alive for a long time. Excuse me. Another thing is if they don't tell someone about it, they could snap on someone if someone that they care about, like even their spouse or maybe their children or loved ones and stuff like that. Also, they strive to complete these goals by instructing the officer to take some time to themselves for them to think about what happened today at work and to deal with it within their minds before interacting with their family, because you don't want them to snap and all that stuff. So some ways that they can deal with their job and home life are by taking some time to themselves and only having a set amount of time that they can talk about work for that day, and keeping the two lives separate if possible. The positions that we will need to fulfill this program are counselors, supervisors, and support groups. We will need to have at least 12 counselors, 3 supervisors, and 3 support groups in order to for this program to work and operate efficiently. There are 3 precincts in the city in Chicago for the Chicago Police Department, and to break it up, for each precinct, it's 4 counselors, 1 supervisor, and 1 support group. The job requirements for the counselors are that they have at least 2 prior years of law enforcement experience, and that they have a bachelor's degree, have a bachelor's degree and working on their master's degree, as well as continuing their education. The job requirements for supervisors are that they have at least 6 prior years of experience in law enforcement, have a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and continuing their education, as well as holding prior leadership roles in the past. Job requirements for support groups are that they have at least 4 prior years of law enforcement experience and have a bachelor's degree and are continuing their education. So these jobs will make somewhere between $19 and $22 an hour, depending on which job they get. So some things that need to be that will be looked into during the hiring process are the person's criminal justice or criminal history, family history, work history for those who apply, and the letters. There are letters that have been sent to the federal and state governments asking for help and funding for this program, and some things that are listed in that letter are the goals of the program and what the funds are going to be used for. Some examples of this are rent, salaries, and supplies. Rent's just rent, so just like for a office building or office complex or whatever you want to call it. Some salaries are the jobs are listed, so support groups, supervisors, and counselors. And supplies are things like computers, cell phones, printers, things they need to use on for their job so that it's successful and it's efficient. And there was a survey done, and people within the community have never really heard of a program like this happening before in their community, but they are in full support of the program like this happening in their community. And also people in the community expressed that it is an overall great idea for a program to happen in this program like this to happen in their community. And another thing is some ways that people within the community would support a program like this are by volunteering their time, raising some money, like bake sales, lemonade stands, stuff like that, and maybe doing a GoFundMe, maybe stuff like that, and even educating the public about it. The reasons being that they feel like this would be something that they need within their community is it would help bring the crime rate down, ensure that law enforcement is at their best at all times, and finally they agree that with this mission statement, because as a result of this program like this, it would bring the community and police together and unite them, as well as making it where the community is more trusting within the police because they know the police, people know the police, know people within the community instead of, I'm just pulling you over for a ticket and stuff like that, So, therefore, I believe that they believe that it helps law enforcement and criminal justice professionals so much that it could even help benefit people within their profession as well. In order to get this program up and kept running, there will be need to make a 10% budget cut in some areas. The areas that are going to receive a budget cuts are salaries and of our workers and supplies that we use in this program. So I chose to cut the salaries and supplies over rent and security, is because those things aren't really something you can negotiate. This program will be successful within the community, City of Chicago, because the community is supporting it. There are set goals for the program already, and there are ways to support the program so it's well structured. Some obstacles that we may face during this program are that there's never been a program like this before in this community, and people don't really know how they can support a program like this. So the way we can solve these problems are by educating the public about the program and how it aims to help the criminal justice professionals, and also model off of other programs like this, so we know like what things to do to make sure that it's so successful. So there's that, and there will be people evaluating this program to ensure that the money is going towards a great cause and not being wasted. The people that I'm talking about is like people from the federal and state governments, and they might have some things that they want to see change to make sure that it is successful within this, their success within this program, and that they tell us things that they think should be changed, and we'll look at those ideas of changes and react accordingly. This program will be evaluated every 2 months to ensure that things are on track and that things are on track, and if we see any changes that need to be done, we will do that. There will also be performance evaluations for each employee to ensure that they are doing their job and see if there's any improvements that they need to make. Some methods that will be used for this are external evaluations and internal evaluations. Some forms of these evaluations that will be used for this program are surveys, interviews, and observations. So this is my oral presentation on our community corrections project. Thank you for listening.